A lonely dirt road in the heart of Texas, under the scorching July sun of 1982. A burned-out car, half submerged in an abandoned water canal, with a strange rock on the gas pedal, as if someone didn't want this car to ever be seen again. But what the Rangers found in this swamp was like a nightmare more complex than any crime movie. A hidden clue, tucked away in the heart of the crime scene, whispering a deadly secret. Are you ready to step into this mystery and see what awaits us? Imagine a lonely dirt road, somewhere near Santa Rosa, Texas. July 27th, 1982. The midday heat is burning the ground. Texas Rangers are called to a strange scene. A burned-out car, half sunk in an abandoned muddy water canal. As if someone deliberately set this car on fire to leave no trace of it. When the Rangers checked the car's license plate, their hearts stopped for a moment. This vehicle belonged to Billy Sutton, a man who, along with his fiancée, Letty Castro, had been missing for 10 days now, as if the earth had swallowed them. But what made this scene even more suspicious was a large rock sitting on the gas pedal, as if someone wanted the car to drive itself and sink deep into the canal. The Rangers carefully examined the car. The charred body, broken windows, and the sharp smell of burnt gasoline lingered in the air. But that rock on the gas pedal, like a giant question mark, preoccupied their minds. This wasn't random. It was as if someone had carefully planned to destroy this car and everything in it. Ranger Bruce Castile, who had years of experience solving tough cases, later recalled and told his colleagues,
"After finding the vehicle, we launched an extensive search. Many people searched the canals and bushes to find Letty Castro and Billy Sutton. We felt that they had been killed."
So, the Rangers began a massive search through the thorny bushes and muddy canals nearby. Dozens of people, in the unbearable Texas heat, searched day and night for a sign, a clue, even a piece of clothing from the missing couple. But after 4 days of searching through dense bushes and muddy swamps, they found nothing. It was as if Billy and Letty had vanished into thin air. Let's go back a bit and get to know this couple better. Billy Sutton and Letty Castro were a loving couple living in a simple trailer on the outskirts of Santa Rosa. Billy was a man with big dreams. He and Letty were set to get married soon and start a new life together. But what mattered most to them was gaining full custody of Billy's 9-year-old daughter from his ex-wife, Sherry. Billy was legally allowed to see his daughter every 2 weeks, but Sherry always made it difficult. Letty's brother told the Rangers he last saw the couple on July 16th, when they were getting ready to go to Sherry's house to pick up Billy's daughter for the weekend. Letty's brother recalled telling them, "Just be careful, because picking up that kid is always tense." But after that day, no one saw Billy and Letty again. The Rangers decided to track down Sherry and her new husband, Paul Wolf. But when they found them, something strange rang alarm bells in their minds. Sherry and Paul, just 1 day after Billy and Letty's disappearance, had moved out of their house as if they were in a hurry to escape. In just 4 or 5 days, there was no trace of them left in that house. When the Rangers finally located them, Sherry and Paul claimed Billy never showed up that day to pick up his daughter. Paul told one of the Rangers, named George, "Just wanted to say I'm glad to see you. Take care." As if he wanted everything to seem normal, but the Rangers sensed something was off. The Rangers obtained a search warrant for the house where Sherry and Paul had been living. When they stepped inside, it was like walking into a scene from a crime movie. A wet spot on the carpet caught their attention, as if someone had recently cleaned there. But when they looked closer, they saw something even stranger. The underside of the carpet was covered with paint, as if someone didn't want something to be seen. The Rangers carefully cut samples from the carpet and sent them to the lab. The technicians tested it with a special chemical, and the result was like an electric shock. Human blood. But due to the paint and the limitations of 1982 technology, they couldn't determine whose blood it was. One thing was clear. There was so much blood that it seemed something horrific had happened in that house. The Rangers searched the house and found more bloodstains. On the walls, on the curtains, even in hidden corners. It was as if someone had tried hard to clean up the scene but hadn't fully succeeded. The Rangers were certain Billy and Letty couldn't be far. They walked miles through thorny bushes and muddy canals, but still, there was no trace of the bodies. Until a strange discovery took the case to a whole new phase. Joe Maran, the Rangers' forensic expert, while searching around the house, found a depression in the soil near a tree. It was as if a large rock had once been there. When they placed the rock found in Billy's car into that depression, it fit perfectly, like a puzzle piece. Joe Maran later told his colleagues that it was as if the rock was the killer's signature. This was the same rock that had been placed on the car's gas pedal to send it into the canal and destroy it. The Rangers went back to Paul Wolf, this time with more pressure. His story changed. Paul confessed that Billy and Letty had come to their house on July 16th to pick up Billy's daughter. He told the Rangers that Sherry and the daughter weren't home, and Billy got angry and attacked him. Paul claimed that in self-defense, he hit Billy with a metal rod and accidentally killed him. Then, when Letty heard the commotion and came inside, she attacked him too, and Paul accidentally killed her as well. Paul said that in fear and shock, he asked his friend Glenn Henderson for help to dump the bodies in the canal. To get rid of Billy's car, he placed a large rock on the gas pedal to make the car drive into the canal, but since the plan didn't work perfectly, he returned the next day and set the car on fire. Paul told the Rangers he lied initially because he was confused and didn't know if they'd believe his story. But wait, this is where the story starts to get really complicated. The Rangers finally found the bodies. Letty Castro's body was found in a canal 12 miles away from the car. Her skull was fractured, but there was something else. A bullet had been shot into her head. This didn't match Paul's self-defense story at all. Billy's body was found 10 miles away, half submerged in another canal, with a skull crushed as if by a heavy blow. But what shocked everyone was a small tape recorder strapped under Billy's shirt, taped to his stomach. It was as if Billy wanted to secretly record a secret. The tape inside the recorder was intact, but heavily damaged after 10 days in water and mud. Joe Marchand, the crime scene expert, said,
"We found a tape recorder on Billy Sutton's stomach. After removing the tape, we called the FBI. They asked if it was in water. We said yes. They said, good, keep it in water and send it."
Wait, folks. Just when we thought this case couldn't get any weirder, the Rangers found something unbelievable. A small tape recorder, taped to Billy Sutton's body as if it's hiding a big secret. What's on this tape? A simple clue or the key to solving this deadly mystery? If you want to know what this recorder reveals, stick with me until the end of this story. And if you love these suspenseful crime mysteries, like the video and hit the bell so you don't miss any of the upcoming secrets. After 10 tense days of waiting, the tape came back. The FBI had managed to recover the audio with great effort. When the Rangers played the tape, it was as if time stopped. The sound of Billy Sutton's murder, moment by moment, was recorded on the tape. It took just a few seconds for the brutal sound of a horrific crime to play out like a nightmare from the tape. The Rangers listened carefully to the tape and reconstructed the crime scene. On the tape, Billy could be heard entering the house and calmly talking to Sherry and their daughter. Yes, Sherry and the daughter were there, contrary to Paul's claim that they weren't home. Billy told Sherry, "I want to take my daughter." And Sherry responded in a cold tone. Then Paul Wolf's voice came saying,
"I'm going to take out the trash."
But in reality, he went to grab a metal rod he had hidden outside the house. When he returned, Billy, unaware of what was going through Paul's mind, was sitting on the couch, chatting with Sherry about their daughter's weekend plans. Suddenly, the sound of a brutal strike came, followed by the sound of a heavy body falling to the floor. Using the tape and the blood spatter pattern on the walls, the Rangers realized Billy was sitting when he was struck and didn't defend himself. The bloodstains on the walls, with tear-shaped trails, showed the exact angle of the blow. Then, Paul and his accomplice Glenn Henderson, who was hiding in another room, went after Letty Castro, who was waiting for Billy in the car. On the tape, Letty's scream and the sound of a gunshot were heard. The killers placed the bodies in the trunk of Billy's car. The sound of rocks hitting the trunk floor was recorded on the tape. They sent the car with the rock on the gas pedal into the canal and later set it on fire to leave no trace. But what they didn't know was that the tape was still recording everything. The Rangers learned that Billy, on his lawyer's advice, had strapped the tape recorder to himself to record Sherry's behavior during visits. He wanted to gather evidence for the custody court to show how Sherry treated him. But instead, he recorded his and Letty's murder. This tape, like a silent witness, blew apart all of Paul Wolf's lies. On the tape, the killers could even be heard discussing where to dump the bodies. They left Letty in a remote canal miles away from the house. The tall grass in that area completely hid the body. But there was a problem. Letty was still alive. On the tape, the sound of a gunshot, a muffled scream, and then the sound of a car door closing and the vehicle moving was heard. About 30 seconds later, the tape ended. Billy's body was dumped 9 miles down the road. The killers rented a carpet steam cleaner to hide the bloodstains in the house, but the blood had seeped under the carpet, and even painting over it couldn't fully hide the stains. The Rangers realized a large amount of blood had pooled on the carpet, as if the victim had died right there. Sherry, Paul Wolf, and their accomplice Glenn Henderson left the house the day after the murders, as if they could escape their past. But nothing could erase the sound recorded on that tape, a tape that, like an ironclad piece of evidence, revealed the truth of a cold, calculated crime. In the end, Paul, Sherry Wolf, and Glenn Henderson were sentenced to life in prison for the murders of Billy Sutton and Letty Castro. This case showed that even in the darkest crimes, a small clue can shine a light on everything. A simple tape recorder, a damaged tape, and the Texas Rangers' determination to find the truth solved this case. Billy just wanted to fight for his daughter, but instead, he left behind evidence that trapped his killers. So, friends, what's your take on this case? Do you think Billy knew the risk he was taking when he brought that tape recorder? Or maybe he didn't imagine this tape would expose his killers? Let me know in the comments. Until the next video, stay safe and never underestimate a tape recorder.